So I'm reading this book right now, and it's one of those books. It's like really, really thick, and there's just always pieces of like amazing, inspirational information. And a friend of mine gave it to me who coaches people from all over the world. He's like a life coach, and I respect him so much that when I saw that he was actually, that was a cute guy on a golf cart. It was really, I will absolutely learn how to golf just for that alone. That was, I don't know what he was doing. By the way, I'm at this hotel in San Diego because I am speaking for a convention. I'm doing comedy for the convention, and I'm public speaking for their, the corporate people that come to these things, and they get all motivated by meeting each other and talking, and then they go back out and they sell this. It's for a shoe store called the Good Feet Store. I did the infomercial for them, and so they wanted me to come back and speak and do some comedy. So I did, but I'm on a little break, and I like to read stuff, and so this book has been pretty cool. I haven't like read the whole thing, but I just open it, and every time I open it, it just seems to, in that synchronistic way that has been 2018 for me. Whatever I read has always seems to fit with what's going on in my life. It's a really, really loud, loud, loud plane. That's called a biplane. It's one of those planes that like has no, it's an old school plane. It has no roof. It's just like the pilot. It's like you and the pilot. I went in one of those one time. It was the scariest thing ever. I loved it. It was really scary because just there's no roof. Like you're in the plane and there's no roof. And they weighed me before I got in the plane. Like what? Okay, girl doesn't like to be weighed, just so you know. They wanted to know how much I weighed. I'm like, why? They said, well, we need to know how much fuel to put in the plane. And they do that by weight. And I'm like, fill it up. How about that? Like fill it up. Here's my credit card. What? Just if we're going up there, just I don't want to run out of gas. So whether I weigh 1,000,000 pounds or not, just fill it up. I know that's not why they did that, but okay. So that was a complete and utter distraction. I'm going to get back to this. So my friend sent me a video yesterday, and it seemed like he had a huge spiritual awakening, which a lot of us are having right now in our own ways. And his was more experiential, and his video, he doesn't have a YouTube channel anymore. It was taken down, probably because he he was too controversial. I don't know. I don't know why they take channels down. I mean, that's everyone has their own ideas and opinions about that. But let me get back to this. So he sends me the video, just explaining this experience that he had, and it really did sound like a divine intervention in the sense that he just saw things so beautifully. He just really, really saw like each leaf in the tree, and he could hear the wind, and he just like the flowers that were around him that he's seen normally every day, but in this particular experience, he really was embodied with the love that really is out there that for whatever reason we seem to block from our life. And I was inspired by what he said and how he had that experience. He's somebody that used to rant a lot on YouTube. He's very passionate, His name is Awakened Brave, and he's just very, British, and he'd entice you and talking to you and bring you in. And I loved his videos because he covered, it's the hot guy with the golf cart. I'm not kidding. Oh man, I don't know why he keeps riding past, but that's a groundskeeper. That's a farmer I'd like to talk to. What would you call him? Groundskeeper, farmer. I got distracted again. Okay. It's called Be the Presence of Love That God Is. And I just happened to open it up after thinking about my friend who had his YouTube channel. After he had this spiritual experience, this God experience, whatever you want to call it, he didn't even like to label it, but he felt love. He felt this overwhelming presence of love everywhere, pervading through every cell. He said it was almost unbearable. He called it a mind orgasm. He called it a couple other things, which is probably why his YouTube channel was taken down. But it was so authentic and real, and it just made me realize how love really is all around us. And for some reason, he said a couple things. I would actually have to ask permission to air what he said, because it was way more beautiful when he said it. But he said something to the effect of this mind virus that seems to be pervading the world right now. I think YouTube is a microcosm of a macrocosm. I'm a liberal. I'm a Republican. I'm a Buddhist. I'm a Christian. Well, Buddhists wouldn't fight, but Christians like to fight. And religion in general, people want to say that they're right, and it just turns into people with labels fighting against each other. And it really, Jesus Christ was about the presence of love. That's really all he was about, was love. And I think there's even a video on YouTube with someone's trying to turn me, and I had my rabbit hat with the checkerboard on it, and because I wore it for Halloween 2 years ago, but I just love the idea of having this huge Alice in Wonderland rabbit hat because of all the rabbit holes that we go down on YouTube. And someone tried to turn all the things I say about how we should be loved, turn me into, by clipping together all my videos, into like some Masonic thing, and it ended up having Aleister Crowley and the Beatles, Love, 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 which I still think is a great song. But it's amazing how you can take anything and turn it into this nefarious thing. With the same exact information can be viewed in two perspectives. And what I've learned, and even in the past 2 weeks, is that we really can't believe. I mean, that's why I shouldn't be upset with people questioning, because I question everything. But it's coming to the judgments of certainty by something off the internet, which we have to be careful of doing, because it was proven that I don't work at Lockheed Martin. I reached out to the Rachel Reenstra that does. And I'll share that in another video, what she had to say about everything, because she has seen the videos. She's probably the smarter Rachel, because she said she did not want to feed the trolls by responding. So, gotta respect that. And I just realized that just from the stuff about me that's on the internet, that's not true. Like the background check where it says I work at Lockheed, even though I've been on television for 20 years. And I don't know, if you just had a brain cell in your head, you'd know that it's almost impossible for somebody to have a full-time job at Lockheed and also have a full-time job as a television person. But we can turn anything into anything we want. And what I realize is now I don't know what to believe looking at the internet anymore. I used to believe things on the internet like most of them were true, like Wikipedia. But if you can do a background check and that's not even true, then it says they make $6 million a year. It's not true. I tell my friends that, and we have a good laugh over it. But just the things about me that are not true. I'm not a shill. I don't work for the government. I'm not in the Illuminati. Like, stuff on the internet just... It was a good lesson for me to not believe everything that I read on the internet. Because if a lot of that wasn't true about me. I mean, there's something on my IMDb resume, which is an actor's resume online, that it was something I was never in, And then my name on IMDb is named Allie, is because that was a character that I played in a video game. I do voiceovers, and her name was Allie. But somehow, people think that I'm covering that's my real name. I mean, it's amazing how quickly we run to fear, and we just get lost in all of this. We get lost in the questioning. We get lost in the labeling and the judging of whether, in this chemtrail thing, whether it was the doctor or me. And in the same truther community that is missing the information that really you think that they'd want to get out there, which is that you have someone, however you think or where he comes from, with a medical degree that mentioned chemtrails and verified what we have been begging people to do. And so instead of like honoring and looking at that. I can't believe the witch hunt that came out towards me and the doctor instead of looking at the message that was out there, which they've been, but they, you know, in the truthing community has been about trying to make people look up and see these chemtrails. So when someone finally validates that, do we look at that and are we excited to investigate that further? No, let's rip apart and make every conspiracy theory we can think of about the doctor and the actress. It would make a great movie. You know, trust me. I don't think I'm not going to try to make it into a movie because it already is one. Like the chances of someone with my last name working at Lockheed, the same company I'm trying to expose, you can't. I mean, it's like whoever is whoever's writing the story of my life right now deserves an Emmy, even though I did a video about that and exposing the whole Hollywood award system or any award system. It's all a construct and it's all BS, right? Because people need acknowledgement and it just feeds off people's need of acknowledgement, just like a thumbs up. You guys all know the thumbs up and the thumbs down is bullshit. It really is. Like when I'm not even finished posting my video and there's already 3 thumbs down, and I've seen it on my friends. Like they have a 20-minute video and they post it and it's not even, 6 seconds. It's like before it even barely gets published, there's thumbs down. So there's just people hired to just put thumbs down because the human being is so attached to being liked. Being liked. I mean, how many likes did you get? How many likes did you get on Facebook? It actually feeds an endorphin that's connected to a chemical in our brain, serotonin. It gives us this little boost. Oh, I was liked. Sally Fields, you like me, you really like me, which apparently she never said. She says you like me right now, you like me, but that's the Mandela effect, and that's a whole other thing. We're not going to get into that right now. So, the synchronicity that I received from this book and what my friend shared about his experience, it's like his eyes were opened and he could just see the colors and he could hear the wind and he could feel the presence of God so profoundly that the love and the intense love was so overwhelming and unbearable that it brought him to his knees. He literally dropped to his knees, weeping and feeling so overwhelmed with emotion of this love, this ever-present love that he, Amazing Grace, that song Amazing Grace, it makes me think of that. That must be what he experienced because his whole energy changed after that. He used to be this person that rants on YouTube about this and that, and he just didn't have any of that left. His whole energy was different. I talked to him after he had that experience and he was just soft, and you could just feel the energy and the presence of love that he was after that, and it was really cool. So I turned to this and I'm just going to read it, and if you are interested, great. If not, that's okay. And if you do a thumbs up and a thumbs down, I don't care. It's really okay. If you're a subscriber or you're not, I'm not going to say like and subscribe because the truth is, does it matter if you like me? That feels good. The ego likes that. Does it matter if you subscribe? I mean, really, it would take probably... I don't care if you subscribe or not. If what I say to you resonates and you want to hear more of it, then come back. You don't even have to subscribe. Just keep coming back to my channel. But you don't have to subscribe. In fact, don't subscribe. But I'm not saying it like Richie for Boston, which I love, by the way. Subscribe or don't. I really mean, I wouldn't want you to subscribe to any one belief or particular. And now someone's going to go, what about Jesus and God? No. Subscribe has such a, I subscribe to you. No, if you're interested, if you want to subscribe so that it's easier and you like what I have to say and it's easier to tune in, and I'm never going to give you the same thing. It might be Daryl Hall and John Oates at a concert. It might be me with a lightsaber. It might be a parody. It might be me defending myself or going off about something. It might be me reading something from a book. It might be me showing you some really cool animals. Part of the reason I waited so long to consistently do YouTube, and I have been on YouTube since 2008, but I made a promise to myself on my birthday I was going to do a video almost every day. And what stopped me is I felt, well, what do I have to say, or why would anybody want to hear it? That's part of it, but also felt like I had to stick to a brand. I'm an animal girl, so it should all be about animals. Or I'm funny girl, I'm the comedian, so it should all be funny. But what I realized is that I'm never just one thing. And that's what I mean. You don't subscribe to one channel, you subscribe to a bunch of channels, right? Because you're not just one thing. So I thought the one thing I would seek to be more of is authentic. Humorous, that just comes. Wit comes. Feelings and emotions come. Authenticity is something to, it's a muscle. Because authenticity means you're letting go of the need to be liked. And if I'm going to be authentic in myself, then you are risking being not liked. And do you know that it's scarier for people to be not liked than to say anything? They'd rather say nothing than to not be liked. Because I realized that the haters on YouTube are louder than the lovers. And I think there's just as many. I've gotten thousands of emails. I still am. Requests to talk on radio shows. I've gotten Facebook messages that are so beautiful. Not one negative. Nothing. Not in emails, not in Facebook, but on YouTube. It's a virus. It's like my friend was talking about this virus that we have. And there's the biplane again. The virus that we have to bring each other down, the addiction to conflict, we're more addicted to conflict. And I've seen that because there were a lot of YouTube was more addicted because they're so used to being lied to, I understand, but more addicted to the conspiracy of this doctor who was being authentic, saying what he knew about chemtrails, and me being authentic and sharing it. Why didn't I share that on my YouTube? I put it on my YouTube right away as private, but I didn't want more of one video out there because I wanted it just at one place, Richie for Boston. That's where I wanted it because he could reach more people than me in that arena. And if I diluted it by then having it on my channel and whatnot, I don't think it would have reached as many people. Now I can post that video, but if I post it, like, why? Like, you've seen it. I've even mirrored somebody who posted the unedited version on my YouTube. Mark from Deep Thoughts. So that's on. It's on. I have the unedited version of the whole doctor thing on my channel, and I still can. But I have to ask myself, am I doing it for someone else, or am I doing it because that's authentically what I would do? And I think we have to ask ourselves that every day. It's part of being authentic, and it's part of risking not being liked. And I've fed into the trolls. I think we're all human. We feed into if you're liked, if you're not liked. People, if you put yourself out there, they're going to not like you, no matter what. Look at Jesus. He was perfect. And he ended up being so hated that they murdered him. Okay? So I'm willing to suffer people not liking me or trolling me or calling me a bimbo. But it doesn't, like, honestly, there are more people, they're just staying quiet. The lovers are just... And sometimes the lovers are smarter. They're not going to want to fight. Because once the lovers speak out, then you've got the lovers fighting the haters. And then it goes back and forth and we're back to square one. So I trust that anybody who sees the stuff I put out there, I trust the ones that stick around. Am I going to monetize and make money? Shit, yes. Some point. Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I know you need like millions of viewers or subscribers to even begin to make money. I have other ways that I make money. Stand-up comedy, like what I'm doing right now. I do MC events, which I make the corporate people who come together have a little fun. And I've got a variety. I do a lot of voiceovers. I still do commercials. I work for a couple different animal organizations. So I'm busy enough that I'm not depending on this for any kind of income. This to me is more of a stretch for me to continually make people smile, be a positive influence, and I don't want to be connected to the truthing community. I was never in a sorority. I don't want to be connected to just one community. Oh, the community, the community. No, I'm the community of the world. I'm the community of the comedians. I'm the community of the artists. I'm the community of the seekers. I'm a community of all of it. That's why I never claim to be, I don't claim to be a truther. I'm curious. I want to ask questions. But I try, and I hope I can live by this, to ask questions without labeling and judging. Because that's when you get into the separation and the division, and that's when the love is not there anymore. So, speaking of love, listen very carefully. Indeed, listen very carefully. It says that. If you would know the love of God, you must be that love. You cannot know about it. You must literally be the presence of that love. Only then do you know God. This then is the essence of the way of knowing. Knowing by being that which you have knowledge or direct experience of, and by choosing to be only that. This is why knowledge is a mystical experience. This is why true knowing has an immediacy. It's not mediated through just theology or religion or philosophy or any words. Words, if you think about it, says words are just symbols of symbols. They are symbols of ideas, and ideas are a step still away from reality. One who knows love knows it because every cell of their being is the presence of love. The way of knowing culminates with your perfect resolve to be the presence of the love that God is. Now, if you would truly know love, look upon the things that you fear. Discover them. Dig them up. This is so funny because isn't that what we do on YouTube or in the Truther community? Or isn't it what we're doing? We're looking at things that we're afraid of and we're discovering them and we're digging them up. And rest assured, anytime you must look at another and analyze them, there is something that you fear. Anything that pushes your buttons is a sign that something is still requiring your love. So when something bothers you, when you get pissed off or you react or you even leave a mean message for someone else, that hurt people. That means you have something hurt inside of yourself that needs healing. The way of knowing, beloved friends, can culminate only in the transformation of your mind, which is in the Bible. Transform your mind to such a level of completion that you sit in your rocking chair and say, there is only God. There has never been a separate me. There never could have been. I love that. There's no separation in that Bible verse that talks about there is no place that you can go where God is not. Nothing can separate me from the love of God. Nothing. Because it's everywhere. There is only this moment in which love can dance and can be celebrated and can be extended. What can we create this day that offers to the world the grace of good, holy, and beautiful things? Let me say that again. What can we create this day that offers to the world the grace of good, holy, and the beautiful? I once described the highest state of consciousness, the highest state of purification, as one in which the child has awakened and looks around him or her and sees into infinity, just like a little kid who looks around and it's almost like when you have children, you can see the world again through their eyes because everything's beautiful and innocent and colorful. They see not where they begin and the Father ends, for such is their union, such is their marriage, such is their dance. The unformed and the formed, the source and the created, the creator and the creating. Such is this alchemical marriage. That means just more of a, spiritual marriage. It's a marriage that's not a human marriage. Between you and God. that one cannot look and see where the creator soul ends and the creator begins. Yet the awakened mind knows that it is still the created, and so it surrenders in perfect joy each moment. Father, what would you have me do? What is your will for me? This is something that I think a lot of people are asking. What's your will? What should I do now? What should I do now? The awakened mind surrenders not in subservience, but because sanity has returned. It recognizes that it never has been the tiny gnat whining and complaining and trying to make life work the way it thinks it ought to work. It surrenders each moment. It dissolves in each moment. It abides in each moment. It knows that only the love of God is real, and it says, Father, what would you have me do? It opens itself and it receives the pebbles being dropped onto its pond. Now, not by its own hand, but by the hand of grace. I just said grace, see? The perfect hand of mystery I have called Abba. That love, that creative source, that power, that joy, the sublime, sweet, sweet mystery that is constantly creating. For love must extend itself. No longer is there concern or worry over the body. No longer is there concern or worry over the state of the world. No longer is there concern or worry over anything. There's only the eternal dance of creation. The awakened mind knows that it is a participant in perfect mystery. There are no longer any blocks or fears whatsoever. And wherever you find yourself, if you are asked to be crucified, dead, and buried, so you shock the world into realizing that there is something else besides surviving, you do it. If it is given unto you to write books, you write them. If it's given unto you to sing, sing it. Play the guitar, play it. Lift someone up, lift them up. No act is too small. You are not attached. The flow of creativity is moving through you. If you are asked to take a simple picture that I placed in the mind of a certain artist and distribute it to 15 million people, you simply do it because you're no longer attached to your ego. Now, if love asks you to move to the far ends of the earth, to build a hut and to chant, you go for it. What's the problem? You are as free as the wind. Only those born of spirit know the spirit. The spirit comes and goes where it does. You don't know where it came from. You do not know where it is going. You totally confuse the minds of humankind. You are free, for you listen to no other voice but the voice of love. What would you hold on to in a world of illusion? Learn to discover the content that pervades all form, and you will taste the perfect freedom, the alleviation of pain that comes with attachment to the form, even your own, even your very thoughts that yesterday you thought were true. Today you have been taken even more deeply into love, and what is in the past is allowed to pass away. Yesterday I thought I knew God. Today I know God even more deeply because I've rescinded my need to be right about what I once thought I knew to be true. Give me more of this kind of love. You are infinite. You are my beloved. Give me more of this love that does not judge and that sees the pureness in all. So there's a little bit more, but the awakened abide only with God. They cannot any longer comprehend possessing or being possessed. They allow all things and they trust all things. They love without reservation the one who stands before them as the embodiment of their very beloved, the content or essence, which is the presence of God. For when you look upon your brother or sister and see only Christ, you then have seen with the eyes of Christ. And Christ simply loves. Therefore, indeed, beloved friends, be at peace. That's it. That was a lot. It was a lot to think about. And I know it's hard. It's hard not to want to put each other into a box. It's hard to not try to label me as one thing or label your friend or someone else as one thing, but we are so many different things. And I do know that I'm not going to stop being a force of positivity and humor and lightheartedness. And I do also, I laugh more at the trolls than anything because really they give us a chance to exercise the muscle of not being attached to what someone thinks of us. And that's probably one of the most important muscles you can build, I think. Speaking of muscles, that golf cart guy is he's pulling weeds down there, and so I might just go down there and see if I can help him. You know, just because I'm so full of love. All right, bye guys. Hope you enjoyed it.